in for such a treat tonight. But like always, we're going to start with some amazing recognition before I introduce our incredible guest speaker. So will you guys please put your hands together, because we have some incredible announcements. You guys have all seen it on social media, and I just said it, but we're going to say it again because Adrian Mcgovern is the brand new Isagenix millionaire. You're amazing, and welcome to the Legacy Club. In Team Win, we have a brand new crystal manager, Victoria Beeman, and a brand new manager, Kelly Quincell. You guys, top enrollers, Ann White, Nikki Rempel, Danielle Silva, Holly Kirsch, Giovanna Villareal, Dinkster, Barbara Gaspari, Angie Bullock, Summer Meyer, Heather Anderson, Melinda Marie, and Darlene Wepler. You all are amazing. Congratulations. I love that there are some repeat names. And then I love that I'm still butchering names like I can't read because of all the brand new people that are just joining and crushing it from the jump. You guys are incredible. Dreamers in Action, brand new consultants, Rachel Manuli, Sarah Spencer, and Charlotte Weems. Top enrollers, Angela Godber, Michelle Mitchell, Tina Burns, Cindy LaRusso, Laura Lori, Kisa Maxwell, Jen and Adam Pfeiffer, Gina Kalinsky, Rachel Manuli, Tara Overbar, Linda Salters, Melissa Hatfield, Fadra Hahn, and Tom Tudor. You guys are amazing. And this is our exciting news and Dreamers in Action. Claire Eby is now a 1-star executive. She has promoted her very first executive, and Sheila Sands just went executive. She, with 2 days to spare, she created her 10th consultant at the 11th hour, 1 minute to spare last night. You guys, congratulations to Sheila Sands for our brand new Crystal executive. So fun and so exciting. So you all know that Jani is mine and Jessica's running mate. Mentor, that she ran us together. So you always hear Jess and I chat about Jani. It's like Jani. And there are so many of you that have been with us for 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, and you've met Jani at Celebration. You've had her on a call. We've had dinner or cocktails together. And there are some of you that are brand new. And because, we have not had a major event, are like, who's Jani? When do we get to meet Jani? I want to know who Jani is. You and Jess rave about Jani, and this is such a treat to have her on. So I'm going to tell you from my heart, and then I'm going to read you some of this bio because this is so impressive. Jani is literally one of the hardest working people I've ever met, but she makes the whole thing look like fun. She is so sweet. She is so skilled. When Jess and I were working in the very beginning, she would send us a podcast and she was doing everything alongside with us. She would never have us do something that she wasn't doing. She's full of integrity from her health, from the products that she puts in, to who she shows up as, that she walks and breathes and oozes integrity and faith and love. But she had just such a vision of how she wanted to help people. And Jess and I are just so grateful that we became the best of friends. And every single one of you is here because of Jani and thousands of others. But I want you to realize that every single one of you is here because if Jess and I weren't here, not even one of you would have been here. So you guys, this bio, if you talk about goals, I want you to put a 1 in the chat. Every time you hear something that you're like, oh my gosh, can this be my Isagenix business? So she's 11-star platinum. 13-star crystal executive, annual 7-figure income earner. Prior to Isagenix, she was a full-time wife and mom. She's been married 34 years and is a mom to 3 amazing kids. Loves health and nutrition, biking, yoga, pickleball, skiing, and travel time with her family at the lake. She's been with Isagenix for 12 years, built a powerful team of just under 500,000 people with no network marketing prior experience. You guys, where are these ones? Can you imagine a team of 500,000 people? I read that. I'm like, how many Broncos stadiums is that? I think we said 75,000 people in Bronco Stadium. All right. I mean, over 475,000 lives impacted. If you all are not putting ones in this chat, just hang up right now. I'm just kidding. Don't hang up. She has 30 of her team has gone executive. or 30 of the team executives have made over $1 million. And there's like countless numbers of six-figure income earners. You guys, 30 people in her organization have made over 7 figures. Jess and I are 2 of those 30. I mean, that's incredible. Adrian's now a 3. I mean, it's amazing. And when we always talk about our ISA cousins and that, we're like, well, we're not really financially linked to her, but it's all under Jani. I'm just going to drop some names. So I want you guys to put this together. Jess and I are not financially linked to Trudy Maples or Tana Kirkpatrick or Betsy Frame or Jill Bowman or Kelly Dickerhuth or Laura Stevens, right? But these are all people that Jani's hands have turned their business into gold because of her servant leadership. Her passion is creating financial freedom for women and families. She lives in Spokane, Washington and Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. You guys, I'm gonna just breeze over some of these awards, but I'm telling you, blow up the ones in this chat, okay? She was the Woman of Isagenix in 2010. She has countless numbers of Crystal's executives, Shooting Star Award. She's been a top income earner, top 25 income earner in 2014, 2015, all the way up to 2020, top 10 income earner since 2015. She has been recognized as a top 15 millionaire in action, basically since she started. Top leadership pool earner, top platinum leadership earner. She sat on the field advisory board. She's the 96th millionaire. She was the Woman of Isagenix in 2016. And all of these, I'm like literally skipping over part of it. We'll be here till 8 o'clock talking about how amazing she is. But there was not a time in mine and Jessica's build that she wasn't available for us. I remember messaging her at Christmas Eve because I was like putting in an order and she's like whispering. I'm like, where are you? She's like, oh, I'm just in a movie with my family. And I was like, why are you answering my call? She's like, because you're working so hard. What do you need? And I was like, oh my gosh. And so it's such a treat. So Jani, hi.
Hi, how are you? Hey, can you hear me?
We can hear you so good.
Awesome.
Can you guys all hear her okay?
Yes.
All right. So the very first thing, because I don't even think a lot of people on this call that know you know your whole story, but I would love for you, and there's no rush. We have the hour if we can keep you that long, you know, but to talk about how you even learned about Isagenix and what you were interested in and just the beginning part and how it took off.
Sure. So Lauren, thank you so much for that introductions. You're so sweet and so complimentary. And I when I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about on this call, I just thought, I just have such a love for all of you that are on the call, starting with you, Lauren, but also everyone else. And I just thought you guys, we're all heart connected. And I just feel so grateful and honored to be just a part of your lives. And God is so good. So I'm just really, really grateful. But to begin with my story, I was actually at a Bible study with some friends, and they were throwing some of the isogenic snacks around the table and asking how to do this. They were all losing weight, and it was a bunch of them had lost like 10 or 15 pounds. And I said, no, I don't really do prepackaged stuff like that. I usually just try to eat organic and whole food. But then I remember going home that night and being locked out of about 3/4 of my closet. And I know that we've all been there, you know, where your weight kind of fluctuates up and down 10 pounds and you can't wear your clothes. So I was in a place where I was almost kind of like desperation, but silent desperation, because I didn't talk to a lot of people about it. But I was, and everybody knows that when you can't fit into you have a closet full of beautiful clothes, you're cranky. Every time I would walk in there, it would just make me angry. So I texted my friend and I said, hey, I think I might want to do that thing that you are doing. And they said, hey, call Cindy Hedges. You have to get it from people. So I remember calling her and saying, I want to do this thing that my friends are doing. What is it? I had no idea. And she said, it's this amazing cleansing and core nutrition program. It leans you out, gives you amazing energy, and you feel 10 years younger. You're going to love it. So I said, okay, bring it up. So of course she had a 30-day, she came just walking up my little walkway. Here she came with a box better. So I remember she stuck really close to me during about that first 2 weeks and really made sure that I got a really good result. And I was lit. In about 10 days, 2 weeks, I was lit up. So I remember just thinking, I don't know, I remember telling Craig, I don't know what's in this stuff, but don't even know if it's legal, but I feel amazing. And I just dropped like 3 or 4 pounds that would not budge prior to this. So story, that's how it got started. Just wanting to feel better and look better. And yeah, and then it kind of snowballed from then. And I started kind of sharing with people.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So you guys, I mean, I know that you don't know some of those people, like we know some of those people, but I always just like have this vision in my head, right? Of like Jani getting, starting on her 9-day cleanse and in like, Cindy's kitchen with a couple of girlfriends. And if someone had told her, 12 years ago, oh, hey, by the way, you're going to be a top income earner in a top network marketing company and 30 women in your organization are going to make $1 million. I mean, she's like, what? I just want to look better and feel better. And, sometimes we get so excited and we're bought into this and we see people with so much potential, but there are people who literally have risen to the top of this company, like Tina Kirkpatrick, like Susan Sly, who literally just came to look better and feel better. So I absolutely love that. You guys, we have a few questions that Justin kind of like just went back and forth of what would be most valuable. But Jani, if there's something that comes up organically that you just want to share, I mean, you can take over this whole call because there's so much wisdom and so much grace in you. But one of the things that we really wanted to chat about is like from this, okay, I feel better, you had something amazing that you wanted to share with people. What did you do? You had no network marketing experience. You had been home while your husband was playing in the NBA. I mean, how did you learn to do this? And how were you able to drive the line and bring in so many people so quickly?
Okay, that's such a great question, Lauren, because I think when we all start out with this, I mean, it really comes down to, when I look back on it, it comes down to influence. Because I really had a lot of credibility with friends and family and just people in my community because of probably what my husband had done, but also because I'd never sold like a kitchen tool or a makeup or anything like that. I never sold anything. So I remember when I first started out, people were so just when I really feel like this whole thing boils down to like just energy, passion, excitement, and love. And I had those things and I was able to just throw that out to people because I felt so good. And I knew so many people that were struggling that wanted to feel like I felt. And so when I was able to, first of all, start talking about it, people just came and joined me because I looked good and I felt good. And I had great energy. And I feel like so many people, like if you walk through an airport and you just look at the faces of people, or you walk somewhere where there's just general population and people are exhausted, they're not very many people smile a lot. Not very many people are excited and enthusiastic and passionate about life. So when you bring that energy and you bring that excitement and you bring some passion and some possibility to people, people are going to eat that up. So I feel like a lot of people at the very beginning joined me because of my conviction, my passion, and my excitement. So, I mean, I would talk to anybody. I was absolutely fearless. And that was probably one of the number one things that I think a lot of people, they get caught up in, is that you cannot care what other people think. You have to be bold. And I came from a place of wanting other people just to feel amazing, because I knew that so many struggled. So when you come from that place where you just, in your heart, you just want to help and you want to serve and you want to care for other people, they're going to come in and they're going to join you. So, I really feel like so much of my early build was just built on having no idea what I was doing, but just out of pure excitement and passion. And then I remember going to an Isogenics event. It was Celebration, and Jen Smith was on the stage, and she was from the East Coast. She's from the Hamptons. And I remember she was in this fabulous pink designer dress, and she was barefoot on the stage, pacing back and forth, talking about this life of just limitless opportunity. So many ways that you could bless other people, because we had financial freedom since we were in our early 20s, and we could give people money and we could help people a lot, but we could not bring them along with us, where we could all rise together and where we could travel together and do amazing, fun things together. And so when I watched her, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to learn how to do this, and I'm going to learn how to do it well. And at the time, Susan Sly had these amazing phone calls that were every morning at 7 a.m. And she would get on for about a half hour. She would fire us up and she would tell us what to do. And everything that she told me to do, I just went out and did. Like if she said, I want you to talk to 10 people this week, I found 10 people, new people to talk to this week. And when she said, I want you to, we're going to try to enroll at least 10 people a month. And so I would go ahead and I would do that. And I would have these goals down. And sometimes, and I've got to tell you, I was a little bit out of balance. And because I remember being in my office for 10 hours because I was trying to hit a goal or trying to help somebody else hit a goal, or and just working. And remember when I met you and I met Jess, and I could see the potential. I could see, because that was another thing too, is I really looked for successful people. I looked for people that had their life pretty together, that didn't have just a lot of, just crazy problems, or that just people that kind of had it together. And so I remember just looking at you and just thinking, there's so much possibility, so much talent, so much amazing heart, such a heart of service and kindness and love towards other people. And I just thought those two girls would be amazing at this. And so it's just really getting invested in people and wanting to see their success, possibly more than they even want it. And I remember, Lauren, we would be running for different goals, and you were like a Broncos fan, and you would be going to these games on a Sunday afternoon, and I would just think, oh, there's another Broncos game. She's going to, because we were trying to hit these huge goals. And I remember thinking, gosh, if she could just give some of these up just a little bit for right now, just for this time being, we can really do some big things. So it's really just looking for people that that have those things that almost kind of that mirror yourself. And so we're looking for people that are kind of like us and who want to do great things with their lives.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I want you to write just even one or two things right now in the chat of a takeaway of what you're getting. Except why we just kind of reflect on a couple of things. We have a lot of questions here, but those calls that Susan Sly did, if you go back, you can still probably find them, or Jess and I can send them to you. But that's one of the things that she would have Jess and I do. I mean, Jani wasn't a trainer. I mean, she didn't have her own team calls, but she plugged us into everything. And because our company is so gracious and so giving, Jess and I would get on those calls. I mean, Jess was riding the train into work. I was at the gym sometime, with our time change, and Jani would be listening to it as well. We would be in a group text, literally typing away what we learned from Susan Sly, what we learned from Larry Fuchs, or, there was all these amazing people, but it built our belief and it gave us the skill set, and there was some homework. But Jani said everything she told us to do, we did. And Jess and I were the same way, but Jani took that because she realized how much it had made her successful, and did the same thing with Jess and I. And when Jess and I can tell you stories of the things that Jani had us do, and we were like, I don't think anybody could make us do that besides Jani. Or you've heard me joke about, she could have told me to make snow angels in a blizzard if I was going to hit executive, and I probably would have done it. But she was so convicted and she knew. And we just kept looking at all of these other people that had gone before us, and we thought, she only wants us to succeed. There's no way she would get me out of bed at 1 a.m. to put sticky notes up all over the place if she didn't run, there's something good to come out of it. I mean, I'm not joking, you guys, I was like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever done, but it's so true. And so when your leaders, your upline, your mentors, whatever, are telling you to do things, that's not because we want to keep you busy. That's not because we just want to make it seem like we know what we're doing. There's so many things there. But I also love what Jani's talking about on the people that you're looking for, and that it can be really exhausting to take on a lot of people's emotional health issues, or, it's really draining and people just don't really want that. And it's like, hey, you have confidence, you have burning desire. Let me run you to the moon when you have the skill set. And it's absolutely incredible. So Jani, I would love for you to chat a little bit right now, because you've been with the company, over a decade, of what was it like, when you saw us in absolute momentum. And then, what did it maybe kind of look like over the last few years, and why, again, with the collagen and the new elixir and this momentum, that people should be all in right now?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, I mean, when you guys jumped in the game, I mean, it was just kind of the wild, wild west, and not a lot of people were doing network marketing at that time. And now that's changed a little bit. But what I love about our company, we're a multi-billion-dollar company. We're run by our owners. I mean, to me, it's very easy to sell Isogenics because our company is amazing. I mean, Kathy and Jim Cooper have nothing but love and commitment and benevolence towards all of us, and they continue to innovate and bring us amazing products. And when that collagen product came out, and I knew that it was a type 1 collagen that was pharmaceutical grade, that it was going to change everything. I just thought this is a product that is going to be a standalone product to build an entire business on, just the collagen. And now we've got the adaptogen elixir, which takes stress down. And there's so many people that are stressed out and they've got anxiety. And we've got something that can calm that parasympathetic nervous system down, make you feel amazing. So to me, those two products that they've just launched are brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I know that there was a guy that I was working with that had he was a kind of a high-end hairstylist in Scottsdale. And I was telling him about the collagen. I said, you've got to throw this into your salon, because he has a very high-end clientele. And so I said, throw this into your salon. And he said, so he went ahead and put the lookbook, the collagen lookbook, on an iPad, and he has it sitting up in the side of his salon. And so as his clients are sitting there, they're looking at all these amazing before and afters that are scrolling through. And then he put together a QR code to be able to scan, and then he's talking to people about it, what it's done for him, what it's done for his skin, what he's seen doing. And he was just saying, it was the funniest thing. He said, honey, he said, guys don't care about your body. He said, they care about the face. He said, it's all right here. It's all right here. So he just sells the fire out of this just by having that little iPad to scroll through. And then he has them use his iPad, scan that QR code, use the iPad, and go ahead and signs them up. So, I mean, there's so many ways to be able to, fire up people with this amazing collagen and the adaptogenic elixir. So, I mean, to me, it's a slam dunk. And when I first started, like I said, network marketing was pretty new. And I mean, you could put up a before and after picture and get like 3 or 4 signups, and things have changed since then. But to me, with our amazing product launches, I mean, it's like the wild, wild west again. I mean, you can really take this thing and run it to the top with these amazing products. So I'm excited about it. And the more you're excited about it, and the more that you are, I mean, is there one person that doesn't want better skin, hair, and nails, and doesn't want to reduce their stress capacity? I mean, there's nobody. So when I talk to people, and what we're doing too is we're really listening for those deficiencies and those needs in people's lives. So if anybody had those products, I would listen for people that were complaining about mood, sleep, energy, and weight. And if they started complaining about those, I would just look at them and say, I can fix that. I've got something that can dramatically alter your mood, that can lift your mood and spirits. Because I remember talking to my husband and saying, something in those shakes makes you happy. I don't know what it is, but you just feel happy, uplifted, amazing when you're drinking those shakes. So mood, energy, sleep, and weight are those 4 things. And now we can talk about skin, and we can talk about stress. And so I guarantee you guys, we're a solutions-based company. So we're just looking for people, solutions, and then we're helping them with those solutions. And then as they're feeling better and looking better, then we're introducing the amazing business opportunity. And there's some people that do come in for the business. I mean, Lauren, you probably came in not only to feel and look better, but also for the business. And I think Jess did too. Once we start feeling good, we're thinking we've got $1 million opportunity. And it started out with a little brown box that came to your door. And you can take that little brown box and you can literally build a multi-million-dollar empire out of a little brown box, and you can build it from the ground up. And I remember watching Cindy Hedges, because she was just ahead of me financially. And I just looked at her and thought, you know what? If she can do that, I can do it. So you guys should be looking at Lauren and Jess and me and saying, if those girls can do it, I can do it. And it just takes a lot of grit. It takes perseverance. It takes really digging in and minding your mindset, and absolutely not caring what anybody else thinks, but really getting steely with your mindset and getting steely with yourself emotionally, and being able to push past the wall kicking moments and push past discouragement. And I think part of that was watching my husband be able to play for 14 years in the NBA and watch that grit and that perseverance and that pushing through not only pain physically, but people always nipping at his heels, wanting his playing time. And so, quitting just really wasn't, I guess, in my DNA. And I just thought, you know what? I'm not going to quit. I'm going to persevere. I'm going to push through this, and I'm going to rise to the top, and I'm going to take a whole lot of people with me. I'm going to set a whole lot of people financially free, because it meant something to me. And Lauren, with you and Jess, it meant something to me to see you guys financially free, to see you not have to work so many different jobs and be able to enjoy life and be able to, take a team and empower them and lift them up and help them rise with you as well.
Oh my gosh, when you have a chance, you should go back and look at some of the chat. I mean, people are just absorbing everything that you're saying. There's something that we didn't kind of text about, we're going to chat about, but I know that you're good to talk about this. So
Okay.
Coupled with what you're saying about, eliminating those distractions and being able to push through, and what you brought up with me with the Bronco games, or you guys, if you've never heard this story, Jess was exhausted. I mean, she had little kids at home and she was on this red-eye flight back and forth, still doing her full-time corporate America job. I mean, we ran to 3-star so fast. We were building these businesses without a lot of duplication because it went so fast. And she was so tired. And she said to Jani, oh my gosh, I just need to unplug this weekend and read a book. And Jani was like, what? Read a book? She was like, read a book in 2 years, And I remember texting Jess. I was like, are you okay? You're going to be able to rest a little bit this weekend. She was like, Jess told me to read a book in 2 years, or Jani told me to read a book in 2 years. I was like, oh, you're not resting anytime soon, And I would love for you to just kind of talk about that. And I'll plug in one other story for those of you guys that have never heard it. If you don't know where I came from, some of you do, some of you don't. I had $17 to my name and I was $100,000 in debt when Isogenics came into my life. I mean, when Jani showed me this compensation plan and I saw what is now called Fast Track to Executive, I mean, as she was going through these bonuses that meant nothing to me, I used to tell her, you speak Iso-Latin. I was like, you're speaking Iso-Latin. What? I was like, I have no idea what you just said. That could be in a foreign language, but I saw the money. Right? It was so much more than you share, they share. I saw the money. So when I first told her, when she's like, what do you need most? And I was like, a bed. And she showed me what we call Crystal Manager. It was you plus two, them plus two. I didn't really get it, but I saw, a few $1,000, $1,000. I was like, I could buy a bed. And so I was going very quickly. When I tell you I was in the brand new apartment with nothing, I was really close to Crystal Director, really close. And it's one of those, you guys have all been there, where things are coming in place and you think it's going to happen. So I had, I think, 4 consultants and a couple pirates, people that just needed one. And I texted her, I was like, oh my God, it's in the bag. But whoever the people were that I don't remember now, they're not getting back to you. It's not happening. And it's like, oh, you always think it is. And those people ghost you. And Jani had been checking in on me hey, how's it going? What do you think? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, no one's getting back to me. It's the weekend. I just don't think it's going to happen. And I told her, I said, I have to go out to this birthday dinner. I'm supposed to go to the sushi dinner. It's not meant to be or something. And she was like, Lauren, you 2 weeks ago didn't even have a bed. She was like, you will have so many sushi dinners. She's like, you need to stay home and you need to hit this bonus. You can call me back when you're Crystal Director, basically. And I didn't. And that was the first of many things I said no to, because it was that mirror in your face of, what do you really want? I was looking at her that had financial freedom, and I'm buried in debt on the floor. I was building this business on the floor. I didn't have a couch. I didn't have a table. There's pictures of that for anyone that's very curious what life looked like in 2013. But that was the very first part of oh my gosh, you're going to have to give something up in order to gain something new. So I would love for you to just elaborate on that. Eliminating distractions, the mentally steely part, going fast, any of those that you taught Jess and I that we attribute so much to our success.
Yeah, and conversations like that are hard to have, to be able to tell you, don't do that, don't go to your dinner. Or when Jess said, she said, I'm so exhausted. I just feel like curling up in a ball and reading a book. And I just thought, I knew, because I'd done it before with Kelly Deckerhoof and then some of her team. I knew that speed was sexy, and I knew that speed was incredibly Well, it's got to be your focus. I mean, you've got to be able to guard your focus like a suitcase with $1 million in it. You need to be able to guard your focus. And if you can keep your focus and keep your drive and keep your passion going, I mean, that's everything. And I knew that if I could get you guys paid, that was good. That was a huge motivator. So, I guess one of the things that I really think is important in how you show up is I remember telling you, Lauren and Jessica, I want you to take everything that people love about you, and I want you to 10x that. I want you to 10x your excitement, your enthusiasm. I want you to 10x your joy in life, your laughter, your effervescence, that just the way that you show up and how excited you are about life. Take those things and write down what everybody loves. What do people love about you? Take that and 10x those things. Show up big, look good, feel good. And people will start to come to you. And I think that Lauren, one of the things I had you do is I said, I want you to write down 7 or 8 traits of people that you're looking for. And I want you to stick that on your bathroom mirror. And those people are going to start coming out of the woodwork. And you're going to come across a girl at Nordstrom that is helping you with cosmetics. And she's amazing. And you're going to see, okay, she's got drive. She has a light in her eyes. She's got a beautiful face. She's excited about life, but she's stuck in this dead end job where she's never going to make more than X amount. And so being able to talk to her and just saying, hey, you keep your options open for additional streams of income. I would love to talk to you about what I do. I'm in the health and wellness space, and I've set so many people financially free, and I would love to be able to help you. And just be bold and excited. And I think that like I said, I think that fear is a huge thing that holds a lot of people back. But the more, and here's the other thing too, when you're first starting out, I think that you go to the low hanging fruit. You go to the people that you're going to get a yes from to get a couple of wins under your belt. So, I mean, I went to close friends, I went to family, and I went to people that I knew would probably support me. But at the same time too, I also didn't put pressure on them, and I asked them for referrals. Okay, because a lot of times I think we go to friends and family first, and then we kind of blow it with them because we're so excited about it. But if you ask for referrals and tell people what you're doing, I mean, referrals are to me are absolutely amazing, because they may or may not know somebody or they may or may not want to do this, but if they know somebody that wants to do this, grab their referrals. And I just think that, we're dealers in hope. We're hope dealers. So I feel like if you can give people hope in their life, it's absolute magic, and it means the world to them. So I knew that I could infuse you, Lauren, with a lot of hope. I could infuse Jess with hope. And I knew that if you saw, and that I said, you're going to be just behind me, you're going to be just behind me, and then you're going to pass me. And that's what I want. So it's just really seeing those characteristics in you and in Jess and in people that I work directly with, and being able to take those things that I see in you, and being able to pour that back into you, and just saying, you know what, you're fearless, Lauren. You care deeply about people. You've helped so many people in your life. You're going to help so many other people in your life. And just being able to pour into people that belief and the things that they don't see in themselves, but you can see in them, and being able to mirror that back to them, because really we're just talent scouts, right? I mean, we're looking for people who have amazing talent. And I could see in you and Jess, I thought, okay, these girls are already developed. They already have confidence. Lauren, you'd already taught so many group fitness classes. Jess already had a very successful career. You had your nutrition. Jess had already had a huge network. You both had great networks. And so knowing that you already kind of had those things in place that make for a successful person, and then just being able to come alongside you, build that confidence in you, build so much belief in you that you absolutely can do this. And we're going to take this and we're going to run it to the moon, and we're not stopping until we do.
Oh my gosh. I'm like all excited. If anyone wants to know, I'm not sleeping tonight. So you can message me at 1 a.m. or 3 a.m, because I'll be working. That's what happens when I talk to Jani. So I want to go back a teeny bit, because everyone's like, what did you guys do? What did you guys do? I was on the phone with a sweet gal. I don't know. I invited her to this call. I'm not sure if she's on because I can't see the whole thing right now. I've been in speaker view, but a sweet, sweet gal, she's messaged me, I'm here earlier today, that I met on Instagram, and like I saw this random reel pop up while my flight was canceled coming out of California. And she's just this advocate for network marketing, and I messaged her and I said, I have absolutely no idea how I even saw your reel because I pretty much just see French Bulldog stuff these days. And I was like, but I'm so glad I did. And I just loved her professionalism and her enthusiasm. And I said, I want to chat with you. And while we were on the phone, she said, what did you do though? Like when you say you ran to a 6-figure income in 6 months, like what did you do and what did that look like? And I know Jess and I get that all the time. And so I kind of want to go through some of those steps, but for a lot of you that are brand new, and Jess and I have had a lot of guest speakers on, or we're training on the topic. I know that our teams have grown, by the hundreds and the thousands in the last 6 months, that you don't always necessarily know this. So a quick summary is Jessica hopped in for the nutrition, but if anyone has spent more than 30 seconds with Jessica, I always tell her she's my expensive friend, not because she likes expensive things, but because she will tell you about so many amazing things that you want to buy. I'm like, I can't hang out with you and not buy things, because she's like, oh my God, these are the best jeans. This is the best lip gloss. You got to go to this spin studio, and she has that personality. So she had shared Isogenics with a significant amount of people in a very short period of time. And Jani saw her on our business blueprint, right? Jani saw her in Isopulse, which didn't exist yet, but that's what you guys would be using now, and reached out to her. I mean, that is where that first connection came from. Jessica is in Jani's 4 PET, that generational depth. And Jani, you're welcome to share part of that story if you want to, more of that initial conversation, if you think it's relative. But that's how Jani first saw her. That's how she showed up on her radar, because Jessica was just sharing the product. She was sharing hers in Doug's success and wanting other people to have that same transformation. Jessica did not join for the business at that point, right? It was her product transformation that inspired other people, but Jani was paying attention. So hopefully you're seeing that you can start with the product and max out this business and be a top 25 income earner like Jessica, right? But she was mentored because someone was looking at what was happening. So my story is much, much different. I had always hated network marketing. I had always, said I would never do MLMs or anything of the sort. And when I was in a rock and hard place, my cousin, who was a very loyal product user, has never built this business. She sponsored me, you guys. She has never still built this business, but she had been to an event. She had heard about the opportunity, and she reached out to someone that reached out to someone that was able to get Jani in touch with me, basically saying, I have someone that would crush this and I have no idea what to do because I don't build this business. Can you help her? Right. So when Jani's saying like, ask for referrals, like talk to everybody, there are going to be so many people that don't want to do this with you, but they're going to bring you the right people. They're going to remember your story. And when things align, they'll do it. And so my cousin put me in touch with Jani. And Jani reached out to me and she said, I heard what happened to you and I can help you. I mean, you talk about being bold. I was in Denver. She was in Spokane. My whole life was upside down. And she was so convicted of what she could do for my life and what this opportunity would do. It wasn't like, hey, I've got something cool you should look at, or hey, you should watch this video. I didn't get added to a Facebook page. She had my phone number and she called me and she asked me questions that got to my pain points in life and cast an amazing vision. So that's how she found us. But I want to turn it back to you, Jani. I'm like, what did that look like in terms of, in the very first 90 days, 30 days, 6 months, and how Jess and I became the best of friends?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Such an amazing story. So you guys both came in. Lauren, I think you came in first. And, I think that, I guess it's probably the bonuses and the just working your way up to executive, because I knew that executive opens up the entire pay plan. So, I mean, the whole goal to me, if someone says, I want to build a business, I just run them to executive. And what that looks like is it's 10 people, 5 on the left, 5 on the right, who each know 2 people who eat. So you literally only need to know 10 people, and then they bring the other 2 people alongside them. So we just ran to executive, and then we grabbed bonus after bonus after bonus that was thrown out by Isogenics. So, but a lot of times I think that what I really look for is people that are coachable. So there are 4 things: being coachable, looking for people who are capable, who have desire, and who have time. And so those are the things that that I really look for, because if someone's going to kind of give me pushback and isn't going to do what I can tell them that I've been there, so I know exactly what they need to be doing. So if somebody's not coachable, it's not worth my time to work for them. If they're constantly giving me pushback or excuses, it's like I'm not going to waste my time on them, because they're not going to end up doing anything with it. So, and then people who are capable, someone who's committed, people who aren't afraid to talk to people. So you're really looking for people who are capable, have some desire, and then also have the time, and just being able to ask them, how much time do you have to put into this every week? And Lauren, you didn't have a lot of time. Jess didn't have a lot of time, but I knew that you had networks and I knew that you had influence. So what I tell people to really get your business up and going, for the first 3 months, you are adding 10 to 15 people, more if you can, into your pipeline. And then out of those people, you are really looking for the ones that want to pop to consultant. And then you're looking for the ones who want to go to manager, because out of those 10 or 15 people every single month that you're adding, and I think for the first 6 months, you really need to be throwing people in the pipeline, because out of those pipeline people, you're going to be able to find people to run to executive. And we all know that a 6-figure income is 6 directors and 4 executives all rising at the same time. Doesn't matter which side they're on. We want 6 directors and 4 executives. So if we can put that together, that usually, equals a 6-figure income. So it was really just throwing people into the pipeline and then being able to rank advance those people and working that whole leader in action formula that's been so successful for you and Jess.
Oh my gosh, you guys, put a 2 in the chat, leader in action, and actually doing it and holding like yourself to the fire with that form has changed your business. So I want to just like elaborate a little bit here on some of the things that had happened, and it might trigger some stories that I think are really relevant. But Jani, you guys have all really heard that you can only work with 5 people at a time, like really, truly, closely getting to know their kids, getting to know their pets, getting to know their stories, being able to do all the calls, and that you really, really can only do it. And yes, we can get into an ATM or we can do a 3-way call and help out, but it's for you to do it well. And Jani was at a point, she was already a multiple 6-figure income earner. She was already a top 50 income earner when Jess and I showed up. A lot of her team already had their own systems. They had kind of split off and were doing their own thing. And so she worked so closely with us, which we are so grateful for. And just an amazing, amazing opportunity. But when I think of the things that you did so well, Jani, we're talking about those pain points. And mine and Jessica's were very different. Jessica was highly successful. She had a high net worth, a high money blueprint, but she had no time, right? Nannies were raising her kids. If you've never heard Jess train on stage, she always talks about that. And Jani knew that. And one of the things that Jess had told her, I'm like, why do you want to do this? Like, what's in it for you? Like, why is this important to you? She said, we have this beautiful beach house at the Jersey Shore, and I spend like 2 weekends there in the summer. I want to be able to spend the whole summer. I want to build this business, sitting on the beach, watching my kids boogie board, which is what she and Adrian Mcgovern ended up doing like 9 months later. Right. But all those times that Jess was like, oh my gosh, I don't know, my, college roommates making fun of me that I'm selling shakes out of my trunk. That Jess or Jani really poured into her. Jani would say things like, hey, like, are you going to worry about that? Are you going to worry about the thousands of people you've already blessed? What do you care more about? This person that's miserable and trying to, deflate your energy? Or are you going to be on the beach all summer long? And she just had this ability to pour into that. Now, my story, you guys, I had a very low money blueprint. My net worth was in the negative, like big time, And I was working all of these jobs, and there were times I'm like, I don't know, like everyone's saying no to me, or I got hate mail from my patients and the docs I worked for. Like we went through some things, and Jani would say, just keep going. Just keep going. She was like, you're going to build this legacy. You're going to build something that you can will away 3 generations deep. And I was like, a will? I don't have a will. Like, what are you even talking about to me? But she just spoke that greatness, and we set major goals and we hit them. So Jess and I used to call Jani the like, what's next lady? It's like, what's next? Because we're like, do this. And we're like, what's next? Do this. And that's what she's talking about with the bonuses. She mapped out Crystal Manager. We hit it. She mapped out Crystal Director. We hit it. Jess and I rank advanced on Sundays together for about 6 months. their director to executive to 1-star to 2-star to 3-star. And she ran us together, and never in a hurtful way, never in a deflating way, but in a very, very encouraging, you are not playing at 100% way. And what I mean by that is if I run on my treadmill by myself in my basement and nobody sees me, I'll probably run a 10-minute mile and call it good, right? But if I go to the gym and I'm next to Erica Rothenberger, who's running a 6-minute mile, I'm never running a 6-minute mile, but I will run faster, right? So I'm like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it. And so Jani had this way, she would text me and say, what's going on? What's in the pipeline? And I'd say, oh, like I have a pace setter pack, and I think I have a president's pack, and I'm following up with this girl in the healthy lifestyle pack. You guys, this is how old school Jess and I are right now, because those things don't even exist, you know? And she would like, oh my gosh, okay, well, Jessica just put in 3 president's pack, and she said she's going to 1-star. And I was like, what? You know, and I'm like, okay, I got to go more. And there was this ability to say, if she can do it, I can do it. I wasn't like, why does she always tell me what that other girl's doing is so much better? And then she would do the other thing to Jess. Like I declared I was going to go 2-star on Super Bowl Sunday. And I actually, in the back of my head, I didn't want her to tell Jess because I wanted to do it first, you know? And I was like, and she told her, she's like, Lauren's going 2-star on Super Bowl Sunday. What do you have going on? And it ended up that Jess and I were both in closets of like Super Bowl parties, you know, like working our business, like doing calls for each other, and we hit it together. And it's such a fun story. But if you can, Jani, talk about anything that you got us out of bed to do the sticky notes, you know, on how you were obsessed with getting us paid, and the way that you really helped cast the vision for us and for our teams. I know so many people want to hear about that.
Absolutely, Lauren. Well, you know, vision casting really boils down to getting to know someone and knowing their life. And like Lauren said, you know, I was with Jess, we had always grown up on a lake. And so and my kids, some of our most fond memories are of playing at the lake and bonfires and just spending that amazing quality time all together, playing games at night, swimming, skiing, you know, diving off of, you know, floating docks, you know. So, and I knew that, and when she said that she hardly had any time at her place at the Jersey Shore, I literally had a picture in my mind of what her life could look like. And I was just like, this is ridiculous that she has this beautiful place at the Jersey Shore and she hardly spends any time. And she talks about being the weekend kids, and, you know, that always had to kind of pack up on Sunday night, you know, hurry, put your pajamas on, get in the car. We've got to go back because I've got to go back to work. And I just thought, you know what, that she deserves better than that. So I pictured that in my head of her being able to spend that time on the Jersey Shore. And I was able to mirror that back to her and to vision cast. So when she would hit those wall kicking moments, to be able to say, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're shooting for. And to keep that forefront in her mind. And Lauren, with you, you know, I remember thinking there were so many jobs that were going on. And I just thought, okay, let's lose that job. And then let's lose that job. And then let's get it where you can, you know, actually be home and actually throw 100% of yourself into that business. So being able to really take people's goals and aspirations and what they really love and what they really, really want in life, and being able to constantly mirror that back to them about what that could look like, and building so much belief into you two that you could do this. When you didn't have that belief in yourself, being able to pour that into you, that you absolutely can do that, and being able to show you your strengths, you know, and your abilities and everything that you have going for you and that is fabulous, being able to mirror that back to you as well. So just really showing people exactly what they're capable of doing, and being able to mirror that back to them and get them excited about their life, and being able to show them a different way. And knowing too that, you know, and being able to tell, because Cindy used to tell me, Jani, you're right behind me. You're right behind me. Because she would hit these goals and I would just think, oh, I would love to be able to hit 3-star. I would love to be able to hit a 6-figure income. And I remember being out at the lake, and I think I was cycling about maybe 2 or 3 times. It was the very beginning when I was first starting out. And I remember jumping on my bike, because I would get on my bike after dinner and I would ride around the lake, and I would ride for about 45 minutes. I remember just thinking, and I remember doing these like incantations and these affirmations. And I would say, people love buying isogenics from you. I'm an isogenic 6-figure earner. And I remember just chanting that and thinking it and visualizing that when I was cycling 2 or 3 times. And so, And then watching it literally come to fruition, because then people did like buying Isogenics from me. People did like working with me. People did like being led by me, even before I even had a team, and I just had a couple of product users. So it's really being able to vision cast for yourself, pump yourself up. I work with, I went to one of Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within, his conference, and he did this thing called priming, where you really prime your day. And if you look it up on YouTube, it takes 14 minutes, and I sit in front of my red lamp therapy while I do it. And every morning, I bring that energy in, and I think about how I can serve, how I can give back, what, the goals that I'm going for, the health and healing that I want in my body. And it really sets you up for success, but it's a discipline. It really takes that discipline to be able to forward cast exactly what you want your life to look like, and then bringing that vision to life for other people, and just getting them excited about their life and the possibilities, because we're just hope dealers. We're really just dealing hope to people all day long, and being able to cast that into you, that you've got hope for a better future. And I can see this for you. And there's absolutely no reason that you can't achieve this as well.
Oh my gosh, this is so amazing. And I'm just looking at the chat as people are so grateful of everything that they're learning. I wanted to just add on, because I experienced it and I've heard her do it. You guys, when she's talking about like getting to know these people and these pain points and showing the opportunity for their life, it's because she asked really tough questions. So it wasn't like, hey, there's a fun way to get your products for free. Not saying that didn't happen. I have had many of calls when Jani would say, oh my gosh, so if you go ahead and just grab 2 of your friends to come alongside with you, Isogenics is going to send you this fun little black card. It's loaded with cash. You can go do whatever you want with it. And she had these like really exciting, clever ways to talk about getting your products for free and, earning those initial bonuses. But when she was really wanting to work with someone, or she saw that opportunity and getting to know why they wanted that, I remember Jess telling me that Jani told her that this is mission-based and kingdom building, and that she lost herself in the service of us and so many other people. That's why there was 500,000 people in her organization, because she knew that there were burnout moms that weren't enjoying time with their kids because they were tired and irritable. She knew that there were moms missing those really special moments because they were exchanging time for money in another job. She had lived through a recession where investments and, significant income was hit hard. And she said, I'm going to show people how to have a financial wall around their family, recession-proof income. And there's so many different layers of this. But in order to do that, you have to be able to ask those questions, what they really want. Jani, I feel like I can tell you want to say something.
No. I'm just listening. It's all true.
And so, it's incredible. And we would grab, Jess and I would go to like an Isogenics university. We'd have 4 or 5 new people with us. And if we could like pin Jani in a corner, and, get her to just pour greatness and belief into people, that if you didn't see it, Jess had typed the question, she would always ask, and she asked us, and I still ask this, and I ask this of other people, and I ask it of myself, on how much money do you need to make in order to make it worth your time, right? Because like your why is always changing and your goals are always changing. And for me, I was like, not that much time, because I had nothing. Jess came from a really significant salary. It was a totally different goal. So I have one, maybe 2 final little questions for you. You can tie them in together if you want. The first one is, I know that you have a circle of influence that's highly net worth. And so many people are like, well, how do I get someone to build a business if they have a ton of money? That I think people have it in their head that only broke people are going to build this business, or people that are looking for additional income. So we always talk about that. And we do bless a lot of families that way. But you didn't necessarily need that. And you've helped so many people go to the top of this company that were really already financially successful beforehand. And I would love for you to chat just a little bit on how you kind of tap into their why, or what made those ladies run with you.
Yeah. So I guess I would just say never assume that you know somebody's story until you really do. One of the reasons I think that I threw myself into this was my oldest daughter, Erica, who is also, in the industry with me. We build this together. She's doing amazing. She's grown leaps and bounds, and she's got a great Instagram, and she is reaching out to people and absolutely loves it. And so she's kind of my little partner in crime, but she had gone away to college. And I guess I just hadn't prepared myself for it, but there was a lot of sadness with that. And so I was really looking for something fun to do. And to me, this was fun. And so I remember thinking, I'm going to do this because it took away some of that adjustment to just 2 kids at home and having my daughter gone. And so I was able to really throw myself into this, help a whole lot of people, and just really enjoy it. And I remember when I was doing this at the beginning, and there was some pushback from my family because they were used to having me around 24/7. And when you are building and you are going fast and you're really helping a lot of people, you can get a little bit out of balance. And I was probably out of balance. I mean, there've been several times when I accelerated my business, you are going to be a little bit out of balance, and it's totally fine. But I remember when I was getting a little bit out of balance, there was pushback from my family, like, you're always on the phone, you don't cook dinner as much, and these different little things. But I remember thinking, you know what, you guys, I literally poured myself into you guys since the day that you were born, and I'm really good at this. I think it's really fun, and I'm going to be doing it anyway. So I really just let them know that from the very beginning, that nothing was going to deter me, because I just thought this is actually really fun. And then I think that once you start this, your why changes along the way. First of all, I think that I just wanted to feel better. Then came, I saw that I was good at this. I was making a little bit of money. And so Craig was always really strict with our kids about not giving them like too much stuff. And so, he would never buy my son Jordans or something like that. And so I had this little bit of extra money to be able to get those things for them and it was really, really fun, because I had gotten married right out of college. And then we started kind of banging around to these other big cities, and I started having children, and Craig was gone probably 80% of the time. So if I had worked outside of the home, our family would have imploded. So I really threw myself into my kids. So I had never worked after I had graduated. So to me, this was, other than, fun little things in high school and all the way through college in the summers. So this was really, when I started making a little bit of money, I just thought, this is actually really fun. And then I was able to set some goals for myself to make a little bit more and a little bit more. But at that point, it was just like, okay, I'm making a little bit of money with this. But what really just touched my heart is just being able to have an influence on people and have access to people's lives that you would normally never have access to. Like Lauren, normally, if I had not done this business, I wouldn't have had access to your life, to be able to share my faith and to be able to make this kingdom building and make this a mission business where you are bringing other people along, and you're other centered, and you're able to just pour into other people and help them reach their goals. And I've always said that it's kingdom building, and it's a mission business, and it's, you're setting families free, and you're making an impact on families that is so important. So it just, like I said, your why changes along the way, and you just kind of roll with it. And the more, and I've noticed that with most of the leaders, after you reach a certain income level, it doesn't matter about that, but what matters is setting other people free and having that influence, and that, having the wisdom behind you to be able to pour into other people, because you've already done that. And that was one of the things too, like when Jess, when I had said, I could tell that every now and then she would be just kind of stressed with time. So I just asked her that question: what amount of money would make it, worth your time to be able to learn a skill set and to get really good at this? And she told me $600,000. And I didn't blink, and I said, let's go. Because I'd done it before with other girls. And so I knew I could take, I'd run people to multiple 6-figure incomes quickly. And I thought, a piece of cake will do it. And then I think in her first year, she made over $300,000 because we worked and worked and worked really, really hard. So just being able to have an impact on people's lives, see them set free financially, it's rich. It is rich being able to have that kind of an impact and being able to bring people to new levels in their lives.
Oh my gosh, I could just listen to you talk all day long. I feel like so many people can. It's so good. And everything that you're saying there, I hope you guys are hearing some of these takeaways though. I mean, Jess did, and she made a significant income in her first year. And And then that was not because she got lucky. That was not because she posted on social media and also reached out to her. I mean, she worked so hard. And if you go back to the first 45 minutes of this call or whatnot, and we were talking about the things that we sacrificed, you know what I mean? The things that we said no to. And Jess had 3 kids at the time. You don't think there were distractions? You know, I mean, she has parents too. I mean, there's so many things. And when Jani talked about those 4 things, right? The desire, the time, coachable, and capable. She used to say to me all the time, I can teach anybody anything but burning desire, right? She's like, I can teach anything but burning desire. And I just want you guys to reflect on that a little bit, that if you really have that burning desire, because when you look at some of these people who are always top enrollers and they're flying through the ranks of this company, it's because they have burning desire. And there's some people that are constantly making excuses of why this isn't happening. And you're allowing that out of balance to take you out of the game. You're allowing the distractions to take you out of the game. You're creating excuses that every single one of the top leaders, including Jani, could have made as well. But it was like, get out of my way. I'm going for it. And I always think, had she listened to her husband, you know, when he was like, hey, it's me or isagenix, 500,000 people wouldn't be here. You guys realize that? I mean, she swam upstream to be able to bless all of us. You know, she didn't come into this for the finances. And I just want you guys to really realize like the power of what you have here and what you really, really have a hold of. So the last little thing, Jani, that I would love for you to close on, unless you have any just final closing words or thoughts that you want to tell everybody, is, you know, you've been in this over a decade. You've seen many people come to isagenix from other companies. We have been through the season where we saw a lot of people leave, you know, and I remember actually when a couple of those girls like went to the wine company, I can like literally just hear like Jani in my head when she was like, who would want to do that? Like, they look so good and they feel so good over here. Why would they want to do something that's going to make them like age and not feel very good? And I just laughed and laughed when you would say that, because you're so candid. But really, I would love for you to just highlight like why you think it's so special here and why that you love this company, and whether it's the Cougars, the compensation plan, and that this is a forever home for people. This isn't just like the next stop to something else.
Well, okay, good question. And so just one last thing that kind of came to my mind that I thought about was I was talking to a radio personality that used to interview my husband on sports radio all the time. And I remember talking to him, and I at that time, I think I was cycling like 10 times a day. And I remember looking at him, and he had a significant amount of weight to lose. And I just looked at him and said, you know what? Weight loss is big business, and I am building an empire. Cycling 10 times a week, I am building an empire. And I just thought, you know, Joni Brewer used to say, Jani, you just tell people you are building an empire. And that's what it's really turned into. And I always put that forefront in my mind, because we always know that whatever we think about, we move towards. So if you think that you're building an empire, you will build an empire. And if you think that you're going to, you know, play small, you're going to play small. So really, I mean, so much of this is mindset. I mean, your mindset is everything. You know, what you think and what you project forward is exactly where you're going to end up. But this company, and Lauren, in talking about this company, you know, I remember thinking when I first learned about it, I remember meeting Jim and Kathy Coover and just thinking, what an amazing family. You know, Kathy Coover is she's our, you know, our leader in the field. You know, she's went to the top of several network marketing companies, and has won awards for training materials. And she's kind of our advocate in the field, and she, you know, pours her heart and soul into us. And Jim Coover is just a master at compensation plans, and Eric Coover is in field development, and he's going to be the one that's running our company someday. And he's learned from the best with his parents. But, you know, the health and wellness field, I mean, to me, you know, your health is your wealth. And I think we really can see that right now, currently, you know, with the climate that we have with COVID and everything that's been going on. Is I tell people all the time, your immune system is worth $1 million. You want to keep your immune system strong. It is worth $1 million. And when I first started out, I remember taking the vitamins by to one of my, to a surgeon and asking her, I said, would you check these out? What do you think about these vitamins? And she looked at the back and she said, you know what? They are perfectly dosed. They're broad spectrum coverage. Whoever did this, whoever created these vitamins, like rocked it. And so, and then she looked at me and said, Jani, she said, you guys are like ahead of the wave, because at some point, this was 10 years ago. She said, at some point, your immune system is going to be worth $1 million, because healthcare is not going to be as easy to get. And things are going to come along that are going to challenge people's immune systems. So she said, you're ahead of the wave with isogenics because all it does is build your immune system. So your immune, the products that we have in the beginning in the health and wellness space, to me is just like a no-brainer. So, the company, the compensation plan, the fact that we're in health and wellness, to me, the entire thing is just a slam dunk. Why would anybody want to go to a different company, or why would you not want to be partnered with this amazing company where, we're run by our owners, we are privately owned, we're debt free. There's just so many amazing things about isogenics, and we have access, with Lauren and Jessica as your leaders, you guys have access to corporate, you have access to, amazing, if you fly your leaders out, corporate's going to wine and dine you, they're going to pour into you, they're going to give you incentives. We really have the most amazing company on the face of the earth because we are, I think being run by our owners is one of the hugest things. And the fact that they continue to innovate and bring amazing products to the field, they deeply, deeply care about the field. And I know that they absolutely love you, Lauren. They love Jessica. They literally roll out the red carpet for your teams because they are so impressed by your leadership, by your commitment, by your willingness to just really go the extra mile for your teams. And if I could tell anybody on this call that, Jessica Rigner, Lauren Sims, even my daughter, Erica, just amazing, amazing leaders that you are definitely going to want to partner with, because anything that they tell you to do, you guys just need to just link arms with them and just say, take me with you to the top. And they will do it. They will deliver because they're there themselves. And they have nothing but goodwill and benevolence and kindness and compassion and empathy, so much excitement and enthusiasm. So, you're partnered with the right leaders, and I'm just excited for your entire team. And I'm just so blessed to have all of you in my life. I'm just very, very grateful.
You guys are amazing. Will you please unmute and give Jani some love? I know we're a few minutes over. Please unmute. Give her some love. Blow kisses, some hugs.
Thank you, Jani.
Thank you, Jani.
Hello, you guys.
Amazing. So good. Love you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jani. Good to
The
see
best.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You guys.
Bye, Jani. Thank you guys all so much. Have a great week. Go crush it.
Bye.
You
Have a
guys.
great week.
Thanks, Lauren.
Bye.
Thank you.